Every time we turn on the television, open a paper, or glance at social media, it seems like the world is becoming more and more divisive. Mean-spirited comments and negativity appear to be our new normal. And growing examples of racism, fear, and anger lead us to feelings of disillusionment, confusion, and hopelessness. It's heartbreaking. But this is not our narrative. So how do we counter the negativity and blatant disregard for others? Years ago, my husband Ian and I found one solution, and it came at a time when I was searching for my purpose. We opened a travel agency with the sole purpose of connecting cultures through meaningful travel experiences. And we were very successful in a short amount of time. And I loved helping my clients realize their travel dreams. But something was missing. Booking tickets was not fulfilling my life's purpose. But I had such a belief in travel and was so passionate about it, I knew that if I stuck with it, my purpose would be found there. And it's funny, when you step into your purpose, other things will follow. And what followed for us was a larger platform to share the joy and importance of travel. For the last 10 years, Ian and I have operated a socially minded travel media company. And through our multiple platforms, including our podcast, we have shared inspiring travel stories. We have connected cultures. We have fostered cultural intelligence. And we have shared our common humanity through powerful and honest storytelling. Many of our distinguished guests, including the late Dr. Maya Angelou, agreed with us on the importance of travel, that travel is a powerful connector, that travel breaks down walls, that travel is a wonderful bridge filling the cultural gap, and that travel is incredibly transformative. And as an illustration of the transformative power of travel, I want to share a story about another guest. Renee Marie is an African-American jazz artist. And years ago, she told us, her agent booked her for a concert tour in Germany. And she didn't want to go because she believed that Germans were racist and that they would reject her and her music. But she went, she had to. And she decided she was going to give her German audience everything she had to offer. And she was going to lean into that travel experience. And when she did that, she made two important discoveries. The first, that Germans love jazz, and they embraced her. And secondly, as an African-American woman, she was embarrassed and appalled at the fact that she held an unfounded and unfair bias against another culture because of the color of her skin, their skin. But because she leaned into her travel experience and went with as much of an open mind as she could have, Renee gained a wider audience for her music. And she also found another country she now calls her second home. That is a transformative power of travel. Travel is also inspirational. How can you not be inspired when you gaze at an architectural wonder? Or when you see children playing around the world with such glee? Or even when you're bombarded by squirrel monkeys in the Amazon who are searching for a banana. That is me under that brood. And that's inspirational in its own way. Certainly, walking in the footsteps of history as we did in Israel and looking upon this planet's beauty is too inspiring to not want to protect it. We have seen the dedication of school children in St. Vincent walk up and down a mountain for 2 miles each way every day to go between school and home. That is inspiring. And in a Rio de Janeiro favela, it was thrilling to find a thriving theater community and to enjoy beautiful street art as we walk down the mountain. Speaking of Rio, one of the things that travel really affords us is an opportunity to see the power of the human spirit up close and personal, as we did in Rio during the 2016 Paralympic Games. This gentleman in the middle with no arms, he took home 2 gold medals. He swam at lightning speed. It could probably beat any of us in a pool. Travel is like an open classroom. It's very educational, if not the most educational experience one could have. We learn so much about ourselves, about our history, about our culture, and we find these interesting discoveries like we did in Havre, Montana, when we came upon an underground city that, back in the day when it operated, was complete with an opium den, a butcher, a dentist, a doctor's office, a brothel that also sit next to the law office in jail. And in Bloomington, Indiana, we uncovered a Tibetan monastery in the Midwest where we chanted and we prayed, and I learned firsthand how much the Dalai Lama loves chocolate. In fact, so much he keeps bowls of specially blessed chocolate next to his bed. And I was specially blessed to try a few. Travel also teaches us an appreciation for the food items that we universally enjoy, including tequila. And knowing how hard it is to harvest the agave cactus, I now sip tequila more thoughtfully. And travel teaches us survival skills, especially when you're hiking a very grueling historic trail, as we were in Dominica. And this trail went from a desert to a rainforest to slippery rocks. And so we had to deal with different terrains, and it was hot and humid. And so we searched for foods that would quench a desperate thirst and keep us sustained throughout the trail. I have no idea what my husband found on the ground to sustain him, but he's here with us today. He wasn't harmed. These 3 gifts that travel offers us form an acronym, TIE, because travel is the tie that binds. Travel is the thing that connects us all. Travel offers an open door and puts a face on our humanity. And it connects us in different ways that we may not think, and brings together people that may be surprising. And we had a surprise in Sochi, Russia. You remember back in 2014, the Winter Games, the headlines were terrorism because of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. But Ian and I decided to go, and we did our own ground truthing. We found our truth on the ground. And we realized that our experiences did not validate the headlines. In fact, the only excitement we had were the people who flocked to me so that I could take a photograph of them with my husband. I think they might have thought he was Barack Obama, but certainly some celebrity. He was quite popular. Now, I want to contrast these stories because what we did in Russia was put a good face on America. We were ambassadors for our country. And I want to show a side of somebody who did not lean into their travel experiences. Years ago, when I was in law school here, I did a summer of law in China. And one of the girls from my program came from Seattle, and she rejected everything Chinese. She rejected the food that the university prepared for us and ate American fast food every day for 6 weeks. And she also refused to interact with Chinese students at the university we were at. And we had something called the English-speaking corner twice a week, where Chinese students would practice their English and where we had a chance to practice our Mandarin. And we talked about American culture. And remember, Michael Jackson was a hot topic back then. And this student from Seattle also decided not to travel around the country with some of us after the program. And she left immediately, and I felt really bad for her because I don't know what she took away from that program. I don't know what she got from traveling to China. I took away some lifelong friendships. A couple of them have come to visit me in Washington, D.C. And when you lean into travel and start interacting with people, that opens doors. And because Ian and I are travel journalists, we may lean in a little bit further than others and try local things just to immerse ourselves, like we did in Namibia, and where we enjoyed grub, which I think kind of resembles caterpillars. And my picky husband even ate one, and I was shocked, but very, very proud of him. But the thing is, in many communities, insects provide the best source of protein. And you don't have to enjoy the local insect in order to connect with the culture or immerse yourself in the destination. But you can do simple things like learn pleasantries, please and thank you, in the local language, and smile, which is a universal welcome. You can do those things even if you are on a beach at an all-inclusive, which sounds really nice right now, but you can connect with people, your local, your fellow traveler, your server, and it means a lot. I want to share one last story and kind of bring things full circle. A couple of months ago, I shared the stage with a group of incredible people with powerful, powerful stories about overcoming adversity. And after we were done and commenting about our experience, I happened to mention that I didn't feel that my talk about travel fit because I didn't have an event in my life I had to overcome. I was blessed that way. But one of the women who shared the stage with me is by the name of Diana Simone. She was a visionary behind the Amber Alerts, the alerts that alert us when a child is missing. And Diana grabbed my hand and she said, Tonya, you weren't talking just about travel. You were talking about world peace and how important travel is in facilitating that. And that touched me, and she gave me a gift and helped me realize that I had found my purpose. Travel as an antidote to divisiveness is a great idea. But great ideas don't affect change. Great people do. And so I hope through this journey we've taken that you have been transformed, you've been inspired, and you've been educated. And you see the value of travel in today's world. And that you will use your travel wherever you go in this country or across the globe, to be a tie that brings us together. Thank you.